What if I told you that the greatest power you possess isn't in your mind, nor in your heart, but in the perfect alignment between the two? And what if this alignment could literally reshape the quantum field around you, attracting what some call miracles, but what science now calls coherence? If you're watching this video right now, perhaps it's because you felt that restlessness, that emptiness that arises when your mind thinks one thing, but your heart feels another. You've read the books, tried the affirmations, visualized your dreams, but something still feels blocked, like you're driving with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. I'm your name. And for the past X years, I've been exploring the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science, from the coherence research at the HeartMath Institute to the quantum physics of consciousness, from shamanic energy work to neurocardiology. And today, we're going deep. This isn't a quick fix or a surface-level positivity talk. We're going to explore why your heart contains neurons that think independently from your brain, how electromagnetic coherence between your heart and mind creates measurable changes in reality, the ancient practices that masters used to achieve this alignment, now validated by science, and most importantly, how you can harness this power starting today. So settle in, eliminate distractions, and prepare to discover a truth that changes everything. This will be a journey. Let me ask you something honest. How many times this week has your mind told you one thing, but your body felt something completely different? Your mind says, I should be grateful for this job. Your heart feels a tightness, a subtle contraction, a quiet no. Your mind says, this relationship makes sense on paper. Your heart whispers, but I feel alone. This isn't just internal conflict, it's energetic chaos, and chaos cannot create. Here's what's happening in your body during this conflict. Your brain operates primarily in beta waves when it's analytical, frequencies between 12-30 Hz. It's planning, judging, calculating probabilities. Your heart, when it's in a state of stress or emotional discord, produces erratic, incoherent heart rate variability patterns. These two systems are literally broadcasting conflicting electromagnetic signals. And here's the part that will blow your mind. Both your brain and your heart generate electromagnetic fields that extend beyond your body. Your brain's field extends a few inches, but your heart's electromagnetic field, it can be detected up to 3 to 6 feet away from your body, and some research suggests even further. When these two fields are incoherent, broadcasting different frequencies, you're essentially sending mixed signals to the quantum field around you. You're asking for two different realities at once. For centuries, Western culture has taught us that the mind is supreme. The heart is poetic, emotional, irrational. We say things like, don't be so emotional, or think with your head, not your heart. But neurocardiology, the study of the heart-brain connection, has shattered this myth completely. Your heart contains approximately 40,000 neurons. It has its own nervous system called the intrinsic cardiac nervous system. Your heart thinks, it processes information, it learns, it remembers, And here's the revolutionary part. Your heart sends more signals to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. The ratio is about 9:1. Let that sink in for a moment. Your heart is not subservient to your brain. It's not the junior partner. In many ways, it's the conductor of the orchestra. Ancient traditions knew this. Egyptian texts spoke of the heart as the seat of intelligence and soul. The Chinese mapped the heart meridian as central to all energy flow. Indigenous shamans, from the Amazon to the Arctic, have always placed the heart at the center of healing and manifestation. They didn't have EKG machines or electromagnetic sensors, but they understood something we forgot. The heart is the bridge between consciousness and creation. Let's get practical. What does this misalignment actually cost you in your daily life? Energy depletion. When your mind and heart are in conflict, your nervous system is constantly oscillating between sympathetic, fight or flight, and attempts at parasympathetic, rest states. You never fully land in either. The result? Chronic fatigue that no amount of sleep fixes. Blocked manifestation. Every desire you set from your mind alone, without heart coherence, lacks the electromagnetic power to influence the quantum field. It's like trying to transmit a radio signal without turning on the transmitter. Relationship dysfunction. People don't just hear your words, they feel your energetic state. When you're misaligned, others sense the incongruence unconsciously. Trust becomes difficult. Connection remains surface level. Physical illness. The body keeps the score. Misalignment manifests as tension, inflammation, digestive issues, immune dysfunction. Your cells are receiving contradictory instructions. Expand or contract, safe or threatened. Lost purpose. Perhaps most painfully, misalignment disconnects you from your true path. You chase goals that look right but feel empty. You achieve success that doesn't satisfy. You reach the top of a ladder leaning against the wrong wall. But here's the beautiful truth. None of this is permanent. Misalignment isn't your natural state. It's learned. And what's learned can be unlearned. So let's explore what happens when everything changes. When heart and mind finally speak the same language. Coherence. It's a word from physics, but it holds the key to everything we're discussing. In physics, coherence means waves that are synchronized, aligned in frequency, rhythm, and phase. When light waves are coherent, you get a laser, focused, powerful, able to cut through steel. When sound waves are coherent, you get harmonics that can shatter glass or heal tissue. Heart-brain coherence is when your heart rhythm patterns and your brain wave patterns synchronize into a harmonious, ordered state. Imagine two musical instruments playing together. If they're out of tune, one sharp, one flat, the sound is jarring, uncomfortable. But when they're perfectly tuned to each other, the music becomes transcendent. Harmonics emerge that neither instrument could produce alone. Here's what coherence looks like in your body: heart rate variability, HRV. Instead of chaotic, erratic patterns, your heart rhythm becomes smooth and wave-like, a gentle, regular oscillation. This isn't a fixed heart rate. It's a rhythmic variation that looks like rolling ocean waves on a monitoring device. Brainwave synchronization. Your brain shifts from the choppy beta waves of analytical thinking into alpha, 8 to 12 Hz, and even theta, 4 to 8 Hz, states. These are the frequencies of creativity, intuition, and deep meditation. Autonomic balance. Your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems stop fighting each other and find equilibrium. You're simultaneously alert and relaxed. What researchers call calm energy. Hormonal cascade. Stress hormones like cortisol drop. Feel-good neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin increase. DHEA, the longevity hormone, rises. Your body shifts from survival mode to thrival mode. But here's where it gets mystical, or rather, where mysticism becomes physics. When you achieve coherence, your heart's electromagnetic field doesn't just extend outward, it becomes more organized, more powerful. Research from HeartMath Institute has shown that this coherent field can influence the autonomic nervous systems of people near you, the behavior of DNA in test tubes, random number generators, yes, really, the growth patterns of plants. You become a living tuning fork, broadcasting and organizing frequency into the space around you. And the universe, which is fundamentally electromagnetic in nature, responds. Now we're entering territory that makes conventional scientists uncomfortable, but which the evidence increasingly supports. Quantum physics has shown us that at the subatomic level, particles exist in states of probability until they're observed. The act of measurement, of conscious attention, collapses the wave function and determines what becomes real. The famous double-slit experiment proved that electrons behave differently when they're being watched. Consciousness affects matter at the quantum level. This isn't mysticism. It's documented, replicated science. But here's what researchers like Dr. Joe Dispenza and institutions like IONS, Institute of Noetic Sciences, are discovering. The coherence of consciousness matters. A scattered, incoherent mind produces weak, inconsistent effects on quantum systems. But a coherent consciousness, especially one where heart and mind are unified, produces measurable, repeatable effects on physical reality. Dr. Rollin McCraty's research at HeartMath has documented that people in states of heart coherence can influence their own DNA expression, literally turning genes on and off, affect the heart rhythms of others in the same room without physical contact, demonstrate precognitive responses to future stimuli. Their bodies react to events before they happen. Princeton's Peer Laboratory ran experiments for 28 years showing that human intention can influence random systems, but only when the person is in a focused, coherent state. Dean Radin's work has shown that groups of meditators in coherent states can measurably reduce crime rates and violence in surrounding areas. This isn't magic. It's energetic causation. What ties all this together is field theory. You don't end at your skin. You are an electromagnetic being, constantly broadcasting and receiving frequencies. Greg Braden calls this the divine matrix. Lynn McTaggart calls it the field. Quantum physicists call it the zero-point field. Ancient mystics called it akasha, or prana, or chi. The name doesn't matter. What matters is this. When you achieve heart-brain coherence, you're no longer broadcasting static into this field. You're broadcasting a clear, powerful signal, and the field, which is responsive, alive, and fundamentally connective, reorganizes around that signal. Your coherent state becomes a strange attractor, pulling experiences, people, and opportunities into alignment with your frequency. So how do we actually create this alignment? Through 4 interconnected pillars. Think of them as the 4 corners of a sacred temple. All must be present for the structure to stand. Pillar 1, emotional congruence. This means feeling what you think. If your mind sets a goal for financial abundance, but every time you think about money, your stomach knots with fear or unworthiness, you're misaligned. Emotional congruence requires deep honesty. It means asking, what do I actually feel about this? Not what you should feel, not what would be logical to feel. What do you actually feel? And then, and this is crucial, not judging those feelings. They're information, energy in motion. The goal isn't to force positive emotions. It's to acknowledge what's real, so you can then shift it. Pillar 2, mental clarity. Your mind must know what it wants and why. Vague desires create vague results. The universe doesn't respond to, I want to be happy, or I want things to be better. Mental clarity means specific, embodied vision. Not just I want a relationship, but I want a partnership with someone who values growth, communicates openly, and makes me laugh. Someone whose presence feels like coming home. With the clearer the mental blueprint, the more easily your heart can align its electromagnetic signature with it. Pillar 3, somatic integration. Your body must be on board. Alignment isn't just mental and emotional, it's physical. Your body holds memory, trauma, and conditioned responses. Somatic integration means bringing your physical being into the conversation. Through breath, through movement, through conscious relaxation of chronic tension patterns. When your body feels safe, alignment becomes possible. Pillar 4, energetic sovereignty. This is the most subtle but perhaps most important pillar. Energetic sovereignty means you're no longer at the mercy of external frequencies. You're not absorbing everyone's moods. You're not collapsing under the weight of collective fear or anxiety. You've established energetic boundaries that allow you to maintain your coherent state even in chaotic environments. This doesn't mean isolation. It means mastery. You can engage with the world without losing your center. When these 4 pillars are in place, when your emotions are congruent, your mind is clear, your body is integrated, and your energy is sovereign, alignment becomes not just possible but natural. And that's when the miracles begin. All right, we've covered the why and the what. Now let's get into the how. And we're going to start with the most powerful tool you have, your breath. The breath is the only autonomic function you can consciously control. It's the bridge between your conscious mind and your subconscious programming. And when used correctly, it's the fastest way to shift into coherence. I'm going to guide you through what I call the coherence breath. If you're in a position to do so, I want you to actually practice this with me now. If you're driving or unable to close your eyes, just listen and try it later. Are you ready? Let's begin. First, sit comfortably with your spine relatively straight but not rigid. Place one hand on your heart center, the middle of your chest. Close your eyes. Begin to breathe a little slower and deeper than normal. We're going to use a 5-to-5 rhythm. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. As you breathe in, imagine the breath flowing in and out through your heart center, as if your heart itself is breathing. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue for 3 to 4 full breath cycles. Good. Now, while maintaining this gentle heart-centered breathing, I want you to activate a positive feeling. It doesn't have to be intense. Gentle is fine. Recall a moment when you felt deep appreciation. Maybe for a person, a pet, a beautiful sunset, a moment of unexpected kindness. Let that feeling generate naturally as you breathe through your heart. Don't force it. Just invite it. Let it be real, even if it's subtle. Stay with this for another minute on your own, breathing through your heart, feeling appreciation or gratitude or love. Let your heart rhythm and your breath synchronize. And when you're ready, take one more deep breath and gently open your eyes. What you just experienced, even briefly, was a taste of coherence. Your heart rhythm likely shifted into that smooth, wave-like pattern. Your brain moved into alpha waves. Your nervous system found balance. And that state, you can access it anytime, anywhere, with just 3 minutes of conscious breathing. Why does this work? Because you're literally hacking your autonomic nervous system. The 5-second rhythm matches the optimal resonance frequency of your cardiovascular system, about 0.1 hertz. At this frequency, your heart, lungs, and blood pressure oscillate in perfect harmony. The focus on your heart center activates the thousands of sensory neurons in your heart, strengthening the heart-to-brain neural pathways. And the positive emotion? That's not just feel-good fluff. Positive emotions like gratitude, appreciation, and compassion create specific geometric patterns in your HRV, ordered, coherent patterns that your brain recognizes as safety signals. When your brain receives coherent signals from your heart, it shifts out of survival mode and into creative mode. Suddenly, solutions appear, inspiration flows, the fog lifts. The coherence breath creates the physiological state, but we also need to address the content, the actual beliefs, desires, and goals that might be misaligned. This is where the alignment inquiry comes in. It's a practice I've developed based on somatic experiencing, voice dialogue work, and ancient discernment practices. You can do this practice in writing, or you can do it as an internal meditation. I'm going to walk you through it now. The process. Step 1. Choose your focus. Pick one area of your life where you feel stuck, frustrated, or where things just aren't flowing. Maybe it's your career, a relationship, health, finances, creative expression, whatever calls to you. Got it? Good. Step 2. The mind interview. First, we're going to speak to your mind. And yes, I mean that literally. You're going to have a conversation with the analytical, planning, logical part of yourself. Close your eyes if you can, and imagine your mind as a character, a presence. Some people see it as a wise elder, others as a busy executive, still others as a calculating computer. However it appears is fine. Now ask these questions and let your mind answer honestly. 1. What do you think I should do about this situation? 2. What are you afraid will happen if I don't follow your plan? 3. What are you trying to protect me from? Listen without judgment. Your mind usually has good intentions, even when its strategies don't serve you. Step 3. The heart interview. Now, place your hand on your heart. Take 3 deep breaths into your heart center. Imagine your heart as a wise presence, not emotional in a chaotic way, but feeling-based, intuitive, knowing. Ask these questions. 1. How do you feel about this situation? What's your truth? 2. What do you really desire here, beneath the surface goals? 3. What would it feel like if this aligned with your deepest truth? The heart doesn't speak in words the way the mind does. It speaks in sensations, images, subtle knowing. Don't dismiss vague responses. They're valid information. Step 4. Finding the alignment. Now, here's the crucial part. Look at what your mind said and what your heart revealed. Are they aligned? Do they want the same thing, or are they pulling in different directions? If they're misaligned, ask both. What would need to shift for us to work together? Maybe your mind needs more information to trust what your heart knows. Maybe your heart needs your mind to create practical structures for its desires. This isn't about one winning over the other. It's about integration. Common patterns. In my years of guiding people through this practice, 3 patterns show up repeatedly. Pattern 1, the should trap. Your mind is pursuing what you think you should want, the respectable career, the logical relationship, the sensible choice. But your heart feels flat, unmoved. The alignment comes when you give yourself permission to want what you actually want, not what sounds good. Pattern 2, the fear guardian. Your heart knows what it wants, but your mind is terrified of failure, judgment, or loss. The alignment comes when you acknowledge the fear without letting it be the final decision maker. Feel the fear and take aligned action. Pattern 3, the clarity gap. Both heart and mind want the same general thing, but neither is clear on specifics. The alignment comes through clarifying questions. What specifically? With whom? Under what conditions? When both can answer clearly, alignment emerges. Chapter 3.3. Somatic Alignment Practice. 33 Sukta 37 Inchaus. Body Wisdom. Introduction. Your body is not a vehicle that carries around your head. It's an antenna, a processor, a library of every experience you've ever had. Misalignment isn't just mental and emotional. It's stored in your tissues. In tight shoulders, holding the weight of responsibility. In a clenched jaw, gripping back words never spoken. In a collapsed chest, protecting a heart that's been hurt. You can think aligned thoughts and feel aligned emotions, but if your body is still holding the patterns of misalignment, you'll unconsciously sabotage yourself. Somatic scan practice. Let's do a quick somatic alignment practice together. Find a comfortable position, sitting or standing doesn't matter. Close your eyes and take 3 full breaths. Now think about that goal or desire you've been working with. Bring it into your awareness, not as words, but as a felt sense. If this desire were already real, what would that feel like? As you hold that feeling, scan your body from head to toe. Your head and face. Is there tightness, clenching or openness? Your throat and neck constricted or free? Our chest and heart expanded or collapsed? Heavy or light? Your solar plexus, the center of your personal power, soft or hard, warm or cold? Your lower belly, is it relaxed or held? Your legs and feet, grounded and stable or restless and uncertain? Notice where your body says yes to this desire, where there's expansion, warmth, openness, flow, and notice where your body says no or I'm not sure, where there's contraction, coldness, tightness, shutdown. Those no areas aren't wrong. They're protective parts that haven't received the message that it's safe to align. They need attention, not force. The release. For any area of contraction you noticed, we're going to do a simple release. Focus on that area. Breathe into it. And as you breathe out, imagine tension releasing like sand flowing through your fingers. Then say internally, or whisper out loud, I acknowledge this protection. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I'm ready to move forward now, and I invite you to come with me, not holding on but flowing. Breathe, release, invite. When you're ready, open your eyes. Over time, this practice reprograms your somatic responses. Your body learns that alignment feels like safety, like home, and when your body trusts, everything accelerates. Here's a truth many spiritual seekers don't want to hear. Being open to everything makes you vulnerable to everything. If you're naturally empathic or sensitive, and if you're drawn to this content, you probably are, you've likely experienced energetic overwhelm. You walk into a room and feel the unspoken tension. You spend time with an anxious friend, and suddenly you're anxious. You scroll through news or social media and feel like the world's suffering is yours to carry. This isn't compassion, it's energetic entanglement, and it's one of the primary destroyers of alignment. You can be in perfect heart-brain coherence, but if you're unconsciously absorbing the incoherence of everyone around you, your state collapses. Energetic boundaries are not walls. They're not about shutting people out or being cold. They're about discernment. Think of it like this. A healthy cell membrane is selectively permeable. It lets nutrients in and toxins out. It doesn't try to absorb everything equally. Your energetic field needs the same selectivity. Here's a practice I teach called the Sovereignty Shield. The practice. Stand or sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. Now, imagine a sphere of light about 3 feet in diameter all around you. This sphere moves with you, front, back, above, below, all sides. This is your energetic boundary. Nothing crosses it without your consent. Now set the intention. Within this space, I am sovereign. I choose what enters my field. I release what does not serve my highest good. I remain coherent, regardless of external chaos. Visualize this boundary as a gentle filter. Love and truth pass through freely, but fear, manipulation, and unconscious projection bounce off or dissolve at the edge. You don't have to maintain this visualization constantly. Just set it once a day, usually in the morning. Your subconscious will maintain it. Sometimes the challenge isn't individual people, it's the collective field. Mass anxiety, political polarization, cultural trauma. When you feel swept up in collective incoherence, use this mantra: I witness this without becoming this. I remain centered in my own truth. You can care about the world without drowning in its pain. You can be informed without being infected. This is the mark of true energetic sovereignty. Let me tell you about someone who discovered this power the hard way. I'll call her Maria. Maria was a corporate marketing executive, successful by every external measure. 6-figure income, respected position, corner office. But every morning she'd sit in her car in the parking garage for 10 minutes before going in, trying to summon the energy to face another day. Her mind kept telling her, you should be grateful. People would kill for this job. You worked so hard to get here. Don't throw it away. But her heart was screaming, this isn't it. This isn't your path. You're dying here, slowly. The breaking point. The misalignment manifested physically. Chronic migraines, digestive issues. She gained weight despite eating less. Her relationship with her partner became strained. She was so depleted that she had nothing to give emotionally. Finally, she had what she calls her parking garage revelation. Sitting in her car one morning, fighting tears, she asked out loud, what am I doing? Why am I living like this? And for the first time in years, she got quiet enough to listen to the answer. Her mind immediately jumped in with logic. You need the income. You have responsibilities. You can't just quit. But underneath that, she heard her heart's quiet voice. But what if you could? What if there's another way? Maria didn't quit that day, but she started a practice. Every morning and evening, she did the coherence breath. She began asking herself, if my heart were in charge, what would my life look like? The answer came in pieces. She remembered that before corporate life, she'd loved painting. She'd always felt most alive when creating, and she'd always had a gift for teaching. People responded to her way of explaining things. The aligned vision emerged. She wanted to teach creative expression to people who, like her, had lost touch with that part of themselves. Corporate refugees, burned-out achievers, people who needed permission to create again. Her mind immediately objected. That's not a real career. How will you make money? You don't have credentials in art therapy. But this time, instead of letting her mind veto the vision, she asked a different question. Mind, how can we make this work? What structure would make you feel safe while we pursue this? That question changed everything, because it wasn't mind versus heart anymore. It was collaboration. Her mind created a plan. Keep the corporate job for now, but reduce to 4 days a week. Use the 5th day to start building, taking classes, creating content, testing the market. Her heart provided the fuel. She felt energized again. Ideas flowed. She started a small Instagram account, sharing her art and reflections on creativity and healing. No expectations, just expression. Then the coincidences started. A former colleague reached out randomly, asking if Maria would be interested in teaching a workshop at a wellness retreat she was organizing. Maria said yes. At that workshop, she met someone who ran a community arts center and was looking for someone to develop a program for adults. They offered her a part-time contract. Within 8 months, Maria had enough income from teaching and workshops to leave corporate entirely. Within 18 months, she was making more than she had in the corner office. But this time, she woke up excited instead of dreading the day. Now, this isn't a quit your job and follow your passion cliché. Maria's story illustrates something more nuanced. When she aligned her heart and mind, when she stopped fighting herself, she shifted her electromagnetic frequency. She became a magnet for opportunities that matched her new coherent state. The people, the timing, the resources, they didn't appear because she manifested them through sheer willpower. They appeared because she stopped broadcasting mixed signals. She became clear. And clarity is magnetic. That's the power of alignment. It doesn't make life perfect, but it makes it flow. How do you know if you're actually aligned, or if you're just in a positive mood that will fade? True alignment has specific markers, signs that you can measure and track. Let me share the 7 most reliable indicators. Sign 1. Effortless energy. When you're aligned, you're not forcing or pushing. Things still require effort, but it doesn't feel draining. You finish a day of aligned work, tired but satisfied, not depleted and resentful. Misalignment feels like swimming upstream. Alignment feels like you're in a current that's carrying you forward. You're still swimming, but the water is helping. Sign 2. Synchronicity increase. Jung called these meaningful coincidences. When you're aligned, they multiply. You think of someone and they call. You need information and a book falls off a shelf. You wonder about next steps and a conversation provides the answer. These aren't magic. They're your coherent field interacting with the larger field in ways your conscious mind can't track. You become visible to the right opportunities. Sign 3. Physical relaxation. Your body knows when you're aligned. Chronic tension patterns ease. Your breath becomes fuller. Your sleep improves. Pay attention to your jaw, your shoulders, your belly, the 3 primary stress storage areas. When they soften without you trying to relax them, you're aligned. Sign 4. Clear decision-making. Aligned people don't agonize over decisions. They can access inner knowing quickly. This doesn't mean they're impulsive or reckless. It means they've established a clear channel between heart and mind, so information flows both directions without distortion. Sign 5. Emotional resilience. Alignment doesn't mean you're always happy. It means you can feel the full range of emotions without being overwhelmed or shut down. You can be sad without collapsing into depression, angry without becoming destructive, scared without being paralyzed. The emotions move through you like weather, real, but not your identity. Sign 6. Creative flow. Aligned people have access to inspiration and insight that seems to come from beyond their conscious mind. Artists call it the muse. Scientists call it the eureka moment. Mystics call it channeling. Whatever you call it, it's a sign that your personal consciousness is connected to something larger, and that connection is only possible through coherence. Sign 7. Authentic presence. People respond differently to you when you're aligned. They trust you more easily, they're drawn to you, they feel safe around you. This isn't charisma or manipulation. It's your coherent field creating a stabilizing effect on others' nervous systems. You become a calming, clarifying presence just by being yourself. Tracking alignment. I encourage you to track these signs. Keep a simple journal. Each evening, rate yourself 1 to 10 on each of these 7 indicators. Over time, you'll see patterns. You'll discover what activities, people, and choices increase your alignment and what disrupts it. This data is gold because alignment isn't a destination you reach once. It's a practice, a recalibration you return to again and again. Let's be honest, you're not going to maintain perfect alignment 24/7. Life happens, stress happens, unexpected challenges arise. The question isn't if you'll fall out of alignment, it's how quickly you can recognize it and return. Let me share the most common disruptors and how to navigate them. Health emergencies, financial shocks, relationship breakdowns, these hit hard and fast. Your nervous system goes into survival mode, and coherence often goes out the window. The response. Don't try to force alignment during acute crisis. Your system is doing exactly what it's designed to do, mobilizing resources for survival. But as soon as you have even 5 minutes of relative safety, return to the coherence breath. 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. You're not trying to feel positive. You're just bringing your system back into communication with itself. In crisis, alignment isn't about feeling good. It's about maintaining the connection between heart and mind so you can access your full intelligence. Disruptor 2. Other people's agendas. Someone pressures you, criticizes you, projects their fears onto you. Suddenly you're doubting yourself, questioning your path, feeling confused. The response, the sovereignty shield practice we covered earlier. Visualize your energetic boundary and repeat, I witness your perspective without making it my truth. Then, physically move. Or shake your body, change locations if possible. This helps discharge the absorbed energy. Finally, reconnect with your own inner knowing. Place your hand on your heart and ask, what do I know to be true, regardless of what others think? Disruptor. 3. Old patterns resurfacing. You think you've healed something, moved past it, and then boom, the same old trigger shows up. The same self-doubt, the same fear, the same self-sabotaging behavior. This is normal. Healing isn't linear. The response: don't shame yourself. The pattern returning doesn't mean you've failed. It means another layer is ready to be released. Use the alignment inquiry we practiced. Ask your mind, what are you afraid of right now? Ask your heart, what do you need to feel safe? Often, old patterns resurface when you're about to expand into something new. The protective parts of you are scared of the unknown, so they activate familiar patterns to keep you in the safe zone of what's known. Acknowledge them, thank them, and gently invite them to trust the new direction. Disruptor 4. Success. Oddly, success can disrupt alignment as much as failure. You achieve something you've been working toward, and suddenly you feel empty, or scared, or like you don't deserve it. The response: this is called the upper limit problem, coined by Gay Hendricks. Your nervous system has a thermostat for how much good you can handle before it feels unsafe. The solution is to consciously expand your capacity for positive states. When something good happens, pause, breathe. Let yourself actually feel it for 30 seconds. Don't immediately move to the next goal or dismiss it as not that big a deal. You're literally training your nervous system that good things can be safe. The return practice. Here's a simple protocol for when you notice you've fallen out of alignment. Step 1, stop. Don't try to fix it immediately. Just pause and acknowledge, I'm out of alignment right now, that's okay. Step 2, 3 coherence breaths minimum. This physiologically shifts your state. Step 3, ask one simple question. What small thing would help me feel more aligned right now? Not a big fix, a small step. Maybe it's texting a friend. Maybe it's going outside for 2 minutes. Maybe it's drinking water. Maybe it's speaking a truth you've been avoiding. Step 4, do that small thing. Step 5, acknowledge yourself for returning. Self-compassion strengthens the neural pathways of alignment. Everything we've discussed so far might seem personal, about your life, your alignment, your manifestations. But here's the truth that changes everything. Your coherence affects the field around you. Remember the research I mentioned earlier, that coherent heart fields can influence the nervous systems of people nearby, that groups in coherent states can measurably affect their surrounding environment. When you align heart and mind, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to a larger shift. Think about a time you've been around someone who's deeply centered, genuinely peaceful. You probably felt calmer in their presence without them saying anything. That's field effect. Now imagine thousands, millions of people learning to maintain heart-brain coherence. The collective field would fundamentally change. This isn't wishful thinking. Research from the Global Coherence Initiative has shown that when large numbers of people practice coherence simultaneously, there are measurable effects on geomagnetic field variations, random number generator behavior, stress hormone levels in populations, even rates of violence and conflict. We're not separate consciousness units bumping around in isolation. We're nodes in a vast interconnected field. What you do in your own nervous system sends waves through the whole system. This means your alignment practice isn't selfish. It's one of the most generous things you can do. Every time you choose to pause, breathe, and return to coherence instead of reacting from chaos, you're adding coherence to the collective field. Every time you make a choice from heart-mind alignment instead of fear or conditioning, you're modeling a different way of being for everyone in your sphere of influence. You don't have to be a teacher, a guru, or a leader. You just have to be aligned. That's enough. Your nervous system, in coherence, becomes a tuning fork that helps other nervous systems find their own coherence. This is how change actually happens, not top-down, but field to field. What we've been exploring isn't new. Ancient mystery schools, indigenous traditions, contemplative practices across every culture, they all knew this. The Egyptian initiates who meditated in the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid were training heart-brain coherence. The yogis who practiced pranayama and heart-centered meditation were creating the same physiological state we now measure with HRV monitors. The shamans who entered ecstatic trance states were accessing the exact brainwave frequencies modern neurofeedback trains. The monks who chanted for hours in monasteries were using sound to entrain heart and brain into synchronized rhythms. They didn't have the scientific language we have now, but they had the experiential wisdom. They knew that the heart is a portal, that consciousness shapes reality, that alignment with natural rhythms creates power. What's different now is that science has caught up with mysticism. We can measure what they experienced. We can validate what they taught. We can democratize what was once hidden in mystery schools. You don't need to spend 20 years in a monastery or apprentice with a shaman to access this power. You need understanding, practice, and commitment. We're living in a unique moment in human history. The ancient wisdom and modern science are converging. The mystical and the measurable are meeting, and that convergence is available to you right now in your own nervous system. The future isn't about more technology, more productivity, more achievement. It's about more coherence, more alignment, more consciousness. The people who thrive in the coming decades won't be those with the most information or the best strategies. They'll be those who can maintain coherence in chaos, who can align heart and mind in real time, who can access their full intelligence regardless of external circumstances. You're being invited to become one of those people, not because you're special or chosen, but because you're willing to practice. Before we close, I want to offer you one final practice, an integration that brings together everything we've explored. If you can, I invite you to practice this with me now. If not, bookmark this timestamp and return to it later. This is a 5-minute practice that you can use anytime to deepen your alignment. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Begin with 3 coherence breaths, breathing through your heart center. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Now place one hand on your heart and one hand on your forehead, connecting the two centers physically. Imagine a golden thread of light connecting your heart and your mind, creating a loop of communication, a circuit of coherence. Ask your mind, what do I need to know right now? Listen. Wait for an answer. Words, images, or just a knowing. Ask your heart, what do I need to feel right now? Let a feeling arise naturally. Now imagine that the knowing from your mind and the feeling from your heart merge into one unified truth. They're not separate anymore. They're a single, integrated wisdom. From this place of alignment, ask, what's my next aligned step? Not your next 100 steps, just the next one. Whatever answer came, trust it. Even if it seems small or strange, your integrated wisdom knows. Take one more deep breath. Feel gratitude for your own willingness to align, to practice, to evolve, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes. So, let's bring this all together. We've journeyed from the science of separation, understanding how misalignment costs you energy, clarity, and creative power, to the science of coherence, discovering how heart and mind can work together to literally reshape your reality. We've explored practical tools, the coherence breath, the alignment inquiry, somatic practices, energetic sovereignty. We've seen how alignment manifests in real life through Maria's story and the 7 signs of true alignment. And we've understood that this isn't just personal. Your coherence contributes to collective transformation. But here's what matters most. None of this means anything unless you practice. You can understand everything intellectually and still live in misalignment. Understanding is the beginning, not the destination. So here's my invitation to you. For the next 30 days, commit to just one practice. Choose the one that resonated most strongly. The coherence breath for 5 minutes twice daily, the alignment inquiry once a week, the somatic scan whenever you notice tension, the sovereignty shield each morning. Just one, consistently, for 30 days. Track your experience. Notice what shifts. Document the synchronicities, the insights, the moments of flow, and then come back to this video and share your experience in the comments. Not for me, for the person who needs to hear that this actually works, that alignment is real, that change is possible. You're not alone in this journey. There's a growing community of people worldwide who are practicing coherence, cultivating alignment, and discovering what becomes possible when heart and mind unite. Before we close, I want you to know something. You already have everything you need. The power isn't in some technique I taught you or some secret I revealed. The power is in you, in the 40,000 neurons in your heart, in the billion neurons in your brain, in the electromagnetic field your body generates, in the quantum coherence that's your birthright. I just reminded you of what you've always known. You are designed for alignment. Your heart and mind want to work together. Coherence is your natural state. Everything else, the stress, the confusion, the misalignment, is learned, and what's learned can be unlearned. So take a breath right now. Put your hand on your heart, and remember, When heart and mind dance together, miracles don't just happen to you, they happen through you. You become the miracle. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your willingness to grow, to question, to practice. If this resonated, please like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more explorations at the intersection of science, spirituality, and consciousness. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay aligned, stay coherent, and trust the wisdom of your unified heart-mind. Remember, you are not broken. You are not lacking. You are simply being called to align.